Rare practice for you guys. What do you hope to get out of today's workout?
Yeah, I think for us is a great opportunity to kind of, we've had a lot of kind of planning meetings as a staff and trying to kind of hone in on a little bit of a direction now that we're approaching the playoffs and kind of in a sense starting to consolidate everything we do, get on the same page. And we've had such a stop-start year, so little practice time, different lineups and availability. So it's a nice kind of reset for us to start this process leading into our first playoff game.
Yeah, got your immediate reaction after the Denver game, but a couple of days since, what are you most proud of in terms of the way that you guys, navigated a troublesome situation, being down with the way you played in the first half and figuring things out in the second?
The obvious thing on the tape was just the physicality and activity. There was no one was trying to save calories out there. They were working and, physical into people, blowing things up. It wasn't always perfect defensively, but their activity and physicality, I think, covered up a lot of could be mistakes. So it was a good lesson for our team to show what they're capable of when they are physical, when they are active. Instead of looking for theoretical solutions, finding solutions through your effort and physicality.
Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach. Just looking at the schedule, you guys have 2 sets of back-to-backs to finish this season. And when you look at that and you look at, I believe if I understood you correctly, that you guys want to find, if safely, a route to play James before the playoffs come around. I'm curious as to how you look at these 2 back-to-backs. Do you play him in one of them, or is there caution in doing that? Because obviously there's the risk of re-injury. How do you guys approach that? And on top of that, can you just, I guess, give us an update on James, what you've been able to do recently, and maybe if there's been any clearances for him, maybe returning one of these 2 upcoming games?
Yeah, it's all possible. I think we're still going to monitor it day to day, but he's putting in his kind of consecutive high intensity workloads. He's responded, and so it's all positive. It's just a matter of monitoring it from today to tomorrow to Wednesday and figuring out what's the best plan of attack. So we can't commit to anything right now because we're not committed to anything. We're just trying to, get a good picture from one day to the next, where we're trending, where we're heading, and then make a sound decision based off that. But definitely possible that he plays 1 or more of these last 4 games.
Blake Andrews, ESPN.
First, Steve, just following up on Christian's question, what was James able to do? What is he doing now? What was he able to do today specifically in practice? And then secondly, with all of these back-to-backs, in your mind, is this obviously with health being the number 1 priority, how are you thinking about potentially staggering the guys you don't like playing in back-to-backs with also the need for wanting to see everybody together?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I think we're still going to monitor day to day as well. So there's the James segment of it, which I kind of answered Christian's question, but to your other question is he's scrimmaging. He's playing, so he's there. It's about how does he respond? How many days in a row does he go where he's moving in the right direction? How does he feel? So there's the scans and the clinical medical report, and then there's his kind of objective feeling of how he's going. And so we're going through that process right now, but it's all trending in a really positive direction, and he is playing. As far as how we strategize these last games, that like I said, I couldn't commit to anything because I think we want to consider various factors within our group, within our playoff prep, within our health, and just the big picture. So we're going to have to monitor and decide and assess as we go here what the plan is. And right now, I honestly, we haven't decided. We've got different contingencies, but we haven't decided what we're going to go with.
Thank you.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve. Malik and Christian kind of chopped into one of my first questions, but does playoff seeding at all play into your reasoning for how you want to set these last 4 games up, if given the home field advantage you could have, if you could etch out the 2 seed?
Possibly. I think the number 1 thought and priority as a staff is health over seeding, but that doesn't mean we're 1,000% in on health over seeding. It's just a matter of how these games play out, how our team responds, how guys look and feel, and also, frankly, what our guys want to do. What makes them feel confident, what they need out of these last games. And so there's a lot of factors, a lot of variables, and we're right now just kind of monitoring the situation, like I said, assessing day to day, and then we'll have to make some decisions, obviously, by kind of tomorrow night and thereafter. But right now, it's kind of still up for us to decide based on many parameters.
Then just one more. You look at that last game you had in Chicago. I want to say it was Easter Sunday. Just looking back, that where do you think they hurt you guys the most, and what do you think is a priority going into tomorrow's game?
It's a long time ago, but I think obviously, it was a game where we didn't seem to have a lot of pop, and they hurt us, a little bit with their size and some of the matchups. But this is a team that obviously, when fully healthy, you have Zach LaVine, who's an incredible creator, and you have Vooch, who is such a talented center, and then complementary players. So they're very capable, and it's about us trying to match their intensity and play our game. If we play our game, I think we can play much better, have a much better result than the last time out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ryan Dunleavy with the Post.
Steve, when James returns this week, you'll pretty much have your full complement of weapons. Was there a time at all in the last maybe a month ago when it seemed like everybody was out a different game where you didn't know if this would happen, where you'd have the full Nets roster?
We still don't know for sure. But I think we're in a position we thought we'd be in, where James would be ready either at the end of the regular season or to start the playoffs. But nothing's set in stone. We know what this season's been like, so we'll be grateful if we can have a full complement of players available and start building and be prepared for the playoffs. But we still aren't completely 100%, just the nature of this league. And there was obviously in the back of your mind a thought that what if this doesn't come together, and the fear of that event. But I think right now we feel pretty positive and optimistic that we're close and we're in a good place.
Go back to Michael Grady.
Coach, going back to how you handle the last 4 games in terms of minutes and how guys are, how you play guys, what kind of a unique wrinkle is added when you factor in that you guys get about a week given the play-in situation, and that all sorting itself out before you actually begin round 1?
Well, that week it's important for us, with so little common history. A lot of the teams we're going to face are running it back for 3-4 years where they've had deep playoff runs. So that's where our unique challenge is that this is not only a new team, new group, new coaching staff, but it's also, a season that's been so stop-start and been so unusual in that respect. So those days are important for us, I think, to hone in and get more familiar with what we're doing, get on this closer to the same page and script, and prepare for our opponents.
Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Thank you. Coach, just really quick, with the playoffs coming up, just looking back at the 2010 run you had in the playoffs with Finn, what do you remember about that run, that playoff run that you guys made?
Well, it was a great experience. We had a tight team. They really loved playing together. We had a great coaching staff that, I think the players all enjoyed playing for. So the environment was really strong. I think before that season, we were, picked out of the playoff spots. So for us to be there in the conference finals, tied 2-2, I think, and a Ron Artest putback, sealed our eventual fate in Game 5. But an incredible experience. Just remember mostly what a great team, atmosphere we had and how much fun we had playing together.
Quick follow, how much will you pull from your playing experience in the playoffs into your coaching in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just natural. You are a product of your experiences. And so that's, subconscious as much as anything. So who you are, how you respond, how you react is as much subconscious, but the conscious is there as well. How you make decisions. But a lot of that stuff is on instinct and feel that's been formed through your experiences.